the biggest pain and frustration in twin flames relationships probably comes from the fact that they confuse a union with a relationship. Twin flames are definitely not and never will be in a relationship. At first, almost everyone falls into the same trap. Some people plan a wedding right away. Meanwhile, twin flame does not mean a typical romantic relationship, and there is nothing beyond the pattern that is known in romantic movies, where everyone lived happily ever after in the end. On the contrary, here, at this point, things may be just beginning. If you are in a relationship with a twin flame, you can expect your life to soon be in turmoil. You may feel like you are going crazy. Relationships that were supposed to last forever will suddenly begin to crumble and then collapse. It's not over yet. In a few years, everything you've known and loved will change. It seemed that life was stable and planned. It turns out that you can't expect much of anything. Some people think that if someone loves us, he will never leave us and will always be with us. But the mere fact of love, even very strong, does not guarantee a stable relationship. It is only guaranteed by a deep sense of unconditional love, assertiveness, and sovereignty on both sides. Therefore, it is not surprising that twin not only does not come to fill the void and pain, but rather unconsciously deepens this pain to show where the hole should be patched, not of the other person, but within themselves. Therefore, we cannot expect an encounter to be immediately followed by love until death. First, all the problems, patterns, attitudes, and emotions that prevent a person from being independent and sovereign must be addressed. There must be an end to false dependence on other people and even on twin flame himself, and thus to the belief that since he loves me, he owes me something and must do this or that. And if he doesn't, he's a cheater and manipulator. If someone harbors even the slightest resentment toward their twin or others, the union will have no reason to exist. If there is excessive control and blaming the other person for their life, there will be no union. Many people are frightened by the idea that there will be no relationship. If you have this, you are probably in this state all the time. You are controlling. You want to put the other person in some kind of boundaries. The twin flame is releasing, getting rid of, getting away from what is wrong for us, whether in a twin flames relationship or any other relationship. This is what leads to union. When you stop chasing, pulling, demanding, abusing, and manipulating. Look at your twin flame as a spiritual journey. The most important thing here is total freedom. Freedom for your twin, giving freedom to yourself. If someone doesn't realize this, they will soon be depleted and empty. Until we give ourselves freedom, become sovereign, give up agreements, and stop binding the other person, we have no chance of a strong connection. Lastly, I'll add that this doesn't mean that twin flame can't be together. Of course they can, but it's a whole different level than a normal relationship. It's a relationship based on freedom. They are together not because they have to be, but because they want to be. So if someone wants to, they will get married and have kids. but it has to be the result of a real desire for that experience, not because, for example, it's appropriate or it's what my partner expects of me. In most relationships, however, the opposite is true. Perhaps in some cases of marriages, people stay together after many years because they really want to. Rather, it is more likely that they are bound together by other issues. Twin flame can survive anything. This love transcends distance, time, space, and even death. Most relationships end when the people in question cannot stay together for an extended period of time. The twin flame begins to activate during the period of separation, which can last for many years. But the feelings even after this period of time are as fresh and true as the day they met, maybe even stronger. Twin flame is the opposite of traditional relationships on every level. It is time to realize this and not to be sad about it, but to rejoice, because it means something new and beautiful. It means freedom, balance. True love is not when someone is constantly controlling, leading by the hand, and constantly proving how much they love. Considering that the soul wants to experience, it cannot be protected all the time. It must experience both pain and joy in order to grow. Therefore, if someone gives freedom, shows us the way to truth, shows us fully with light and shadow, he is true love. Not someone who constantly assures you of love. Besides, if you constantly need reassurance that someone loves you, is such a relationship really worthwhile? Constantly living in uncertainty is no good. This is what the twin flame is for, so that we can get rid of doubts once and for all. They came to love themselves, to find out for ourselves what the truth is, instead of waiting for someone to tell us. Then nothing is able to disappoint us. No one is able to destroy us. Only if we do not give away free will to others. So the twin destroying our life, smashing it from the inside, shows all the delusion, deceptions with which we feed ourselves, others. He beautifully shows us ourselves. Given that this was the agreement, in my opinion, this is an expression of the greatest and purest love, which is not achieved in any other relationship. It is the best favor that someone does. If we look at it from this side of what the twin flame actually is, and not what it is not, if we get out of our heads in the end, stop hurting yourself by expecting a relationship, and open yourself up to much, much more. In fact, there is no separation. We come here to teach ourselves and others that we have a permanent connection. Nothing will change that. So we can boldly let go, give the other person space and time without fear of disappearing. This is one of the most important steps on the path of the twin flamme, the realization that an ordinary relationship will never happen. And that's a very good thing,